What is up, everybody? It is Lawrence, and today we have a Nike by You custom done by yours truly. I had no inspiration with this one. You know, the last video I did with the Nike by You was inspired by Rainbow Mountain and my times in Peru, and this one I just kind of like the colors. So without further ado, here is the Nike by You Nike Zoom Type. So for people that don't know, the Nike Zoom Type is based on the Alpha Fly Next Percent as kind of the baseline in terms of what was being created here. However, the design of the Zoom Type was done by N354, which is one of Nike's experimental lines for lifestyle. So while it took some cues from the Alpha Next Percent, the shoe's not made for running. It's 100% geared towards lifestyle usage, that type of aesthetic, as well as that type of kind of long, all-day type of comfort where you're on your feet, walking around, or just chilling and looking badass and cool on a couch. So the typical Nike by You is typically $20 more than the regular Nike version without the customization, which is not much in my opinion. Like $20 is totally worth it to customize a shoe to your liking. So the Zoom Type retails for $150. They're actually, just yesterday when I checked, this wasn't available when I ordered it, there's another Zoom Type customization by Nike by You for $170, and that's made out of this suede-like type material. So this version actually retails at $190, which is much more expensive than $150 retail. And I don't know that $40 extra really brought me any premium materials, but it definitely brought me more sustainable materials. So where does this all kind of come together? Let's start with the upper like we always do. So what I did with the upper was I created this kind of pink quartz color, and this is all done in a recycled knit. This recycled knit is super important and one of the main reasons why I decided to create this concept, and as well as also buy the shoe. So I actually did a Nike by You by Macciu, which had this awesome pillowy, super comfortable upper with the exact same type of tooling on the bottom. However, it was way too small and it just didn't fit me, so I had to return those, unfortunately, but I love those a lot. I actually did a review of those, and I'll leave that in the comments, in the description below. This is a knit version, and the suede version of this for $150, which is the retail version, absolutely sucks. Like the tooling on this is awesome. It's really, really comfortable, but the upper was such a letdown that I just could not get myself to buy the sneaker. So with this knit, am I happier with the shoe? Absolutely. And $190, it is a little expensive compared to the regular retail version. Let's start with the upper like we always do. The upper's made out of this pink quartz material, and it's made out of a knit. It's very tightly woven and has a very fabric-y type feel. They called it a knit on the website, but I'm not sure if it's, I don't think it's fly knit. It just kind of feels like this, I don't know, it feels like a t-shirt type of thing, a more heavyweight type of t-shirt that's more put together, but I really do like the material choice here, so that's good. And this is made out of recycled material. And then I also picked the contrast stitching in white that you can see over here in the zigzag pattern, and then also up here as well. They also did some contrast stitching in the pink that you're seeing here, but I definitely did not pick the pink color. I only picked the white color for the contrast stitching. So there's multiple areas where that exists, over here and in here and over here. So one of the first things I noticed about the upper, and I didn't realize it on the website, is they have these kind of like little metal things on the upper itself, and you can see them in several places throughout the sneaker. And they kind of look like they were nailed in. I'm not exactly what the point of them are. I assume it's to hold the outer part of the knit into this interior part. I'm not 100% sure. I can't really tell unless I break the shoe apart, but I don't think it's worth to do with that. But there's several of those all throughout the upper. I don't really love them, but I also don't hate them, so it is what it is. Looking at this big swoosh, you actually only have that on the lateral side, so on the medial side, there is no swoosh at all. And this is a big swoosh done in a crater-like type felt. This is also recycled material. It really reminds me of Nike Grind. I'm not sure if they actually recycled other materials in terms of like grinding it all up and making this textile, but I think they called it a felt on the website when I was designing it. So on the back of the sneaker, you're going to see that white pull tab. That is, I really like it because it looks really deconstructed. It kind of looks like it was just kind of added on last minute. There is an L there, and that L stands for Lawrence, and then the other one says C, and that stands for my last name. And then on the bottom, you also see a little more of that crater type of felt that I was talking about. It is not a heel cup, even though it looks like one, it's just kind of stitched on. Moving up to the lacing system, over here, you can see the crater type things on the eyelet area. And so those eye stays have the crater type. And then moving up into it, you have a rope style lacing system. And then the tongue itself at the very top has the N354 moniker on it. The other thing to note is that I believe this is a suede or nubuck type of tongue. It actually might not be, it might just be more recycled material. I don't remember, but I made the tongue color that. I also made the little pink laces, which I really like, as it pops out a little more, but it's still kind of in the same color scheme as the rest of the sneaker. So let's get into this chunky midsole. So for those that have never seen these before, these really look like the Sakai's in a lot of ways. I'm sure they drew inspiration from there, but there's a double stack sole, and so you do have a sole over here, and then finally in the middle part, you actually do have a plate that's done in a composite material, basically plastic. To basically give it a little more structure and also help your foot strike, as well as give it a little more stability. The foam itself is super soft underfoot. I really like the foam, and there are kind of elements of the plastic done in the gray over here, which I designed myself. Also for the zoom pods, so there are two zoom pods that you can see on the bottom. You can see those more clearly here. They kind of look like little eyes. And those two zoom pods I picked to be in this kind of grayish color. And finally on the outsole, you have a very heavily rubberized outsole, and that is pretty much this entire midfoot to forefoot area, and there's just a little bit of rubber in the back. What's interesting about the cushioning system is that I don't think it's React foam. I don't think anyone has been able to confirm whether or not it is. So what are my thoughts on this sneaker? First of all, I'm definitely keeping them because this is one of the most comfortable sneakers that Nike has produced in a really long time. And I actually just checked the site before getting onto this to make this video, and they're actually on sale for $101 for the Zoom type. I don't know exactly which colors, but if you want a pair of these in some way, shape, or form, just for comfort reasons, $100, these are totally worth it. You know, like I said, the Zoom type specifically in general typically does not have a great upper until I got this version, so this version's awesome and I really enjoy it. From a looks perspective, I'd say that this is pretty polarizing. I really like the way the Zoom type looks. I like the way the Zoom pods are. I'm a huge fan of that look. And I also just kind of really like the deconstructed, almost like recycled look of this specific sneaker. I obviously designed it myself, so the color elements and everything are things that I designed, so I really like it. I really wanted a lighter sneaker, just because this could have been super heavy. They had actually a lot of dark colors that you could pick from, and you can try your own on the Nike website right now if you'd like to. From a sizing perspective, I would recommend true to size. I went true to size on this one, and it was totally fine. I went actually half size up on the Macciu version, which I created, and that was still too tight. So on that version, I would have to go a full size up. But I think if you guys are getting the premium Zoom type version by Nike by You, true to size is probably more than adequate for most people. It also has a pretty wide stance in general, so even wide footers, I think you'll be fine. The length is great, so I would definitely go true to size. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions about the Nike by You Zoom type, leave that in the comments below. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you like me and want to see more content, definitely squeak all over that subscribe button. But until next time, this is Lawrence from My Squeakers, and this is the Nike by You Zoom type, or I guess Nike by Me Zoom type Premium. Peace.